Ever heard that coming from the other side of your paper-thin apartment walls in Japan? You have, well, lucky for you, I'm here to explain how noise complaints work in Japan and what to expect when you make one. Spoiler, it's nothing good. At all. Alright, so first things first, you'll need to contact your property management company. If you're using the Gaichipa housing service, you can email us and we'll talk to them for you. But if you're leasing on your own, you'll need to call yourself or ask a Japanese-speaking friend for help. Then you'll need to inform them of the situation. The basic things you should have ready are what room number you think the sound is coming from, when the noise occurred, and what kind of noise it was. It's also good to take recordings of the noise in question, as you can use that as evidence against the other tenant, if it comes to that. Once the property management company is informed, they'll try to contact that other tenant. But here's the depressing part. The property management company can ask the tenant to keep it down, but 99% of the time, there isn't actually anything they can do. What I mean is, whether or not the other tenant quiets down is entirely up to them. Most of the time, the other tenant is probably a nice person who just didn't realize how loud they were, and you probably won't have a problem again. But if the other tenant has a counter argument, or just doesn't want to be quiet, there really isn't much more that the property management company can do. You can repeatedly complain, and the property management company can repeatedly contact them. But if it's the type of person who's already happy to make a ruckus, you're probably just gonna spite them and make them want to be even louder. In the past, I've heard from some people who've even requested their property management company kick out the other person if they don't keep it down. For a whole slew of legal reasons that I don't have time to get into, that is simply not possible. For all intents and purposes, whether or not each tenant is quiet is up to themselves entirely. So, let's say you have a noisy neighbor. You complained to the property management company, but the issue persists without solution. What can you do? Well, here's a story of my own. I used to live in a small apartment building made of light steel framing. The walls were paper thin. One day, a group of friends, or family, I'm not really sure, moved into 2 of the rooms next to me, and they would constantly be listening to music, screaming, and partying. Over many months and many bangs on the wall and emails to the property management company, nothing changed. Some of the contact I had with the property management company sounded truly desperate because I just wanted these people to be quiet. So what did I do next? I just gave up and eventually moved out. Now I live in a building made of reinforced concrete, and I've never heard my next door neighbors once. The absolute best advice I can give about a noise complaint is to take preemptive action. If you're worried about noise, consider as many kinds of factors as you can prior to actually moving into an apartment. Like, what is the building made of? Ideally, you want reinforced concrete, as that's by far the best for soundproofing. After that, a steel frame apartment, and then wood would probably be the worst. Okay, what kind of people live in the building? Is it a family area? A student area? If you're living in an area with a lot of younger people, for example, you're probably going to be dealing with a lot more noise compared to an area full of older people. If there's a lot of families, you might be hearing a lot of kids screaming, though a family is much more likely to listen to a noise complaint as opposed to a wild group of college students. Now, obviously, not everyone is going to want to just give up like me, and not everyone is in a situation where they can preemptively pick and choose the perfect apartment. So, if the property management company didn't help or wasn't able to help, what else can you do? Many people from other countries might want to confront the person directly, though I would advise against that. In Japan, confronting someone directly is very likely to backfire and cause even more problems. Plus, you really never know what kind of person you're gonna be dealing with, So it's much better to stay as anonymous and separated from that person as possible. One thing that I did not realize during my time living next to the clan of squealing Gila monsters was that calling the police is actually an option. You can call the police and make noise complaints, and they will probably go talk to the person in question. Now, they're not going to arrest them or anything, unless they go crazy, but a talking to from a few police officers is certainly more intimidating than a phone call from a random dude at a property management company. But again, escalating to such a point where police are getting involved is not fun for anyone and probably should be a last resort. Personally, even in my situation, had I known about this option, I probably still wouldn't have called the police because it seems like it would have just been more effort than it's worth. But that's the gist of noise complaints in Japan. Not super fun to deal with, I know. But hopefully this information helps you prepare for the future or at least cope a bit more with the present. If you do want to preemptively look for the perfect next apartment though, check out Gaijinpa Housing Service in the description. We're happy to help.